Girl in the Bubble.
Yeah.
You had such a dramatic scene, beautifully sung by Ariana, beautifully shot by Alice Brooks, but it had to be a very complex set to accomplish that task. What was your challenges making the set, but also making it beautiful and support the emotional part of the character?
Well, I think, first of all, we had to sort of come up with Ariana, the look for Ariana in Emerald City, and those two could have clashed. So we had to find a way in. The way in was really, the grand old age of Hollywood, the 30s, and if we could touch on that and tiptoe in there, we could get a look for Ariana's apartment in the Emerald City, because the Emerald City it looked very different to that. So we had to combine those styles, and then with Girl in the Bubble, it was technically very complicated because we were moving through mirrors, and it's an old. It goes back to the beginning of film, pushing through mirrors and having reflected rooms. So obviously we couldn't build, XYZ rooms stacked on top of each other. That would be impossible. So we had to create symmetry. So we took a sort of the golden age of Hollywood, a great staircase, and then duplicated it. So in the mirror, everything would always be symmetrical. So symmetry was everything. But then we also reflected vertically. So it was lots of moving walls, so the camera could push through. So it took a lot of. The thing is, it appears simple, but it's really not. So that was, and it took everyone to do it, from Alice's department to the camera, for the camera movers or operators. It really took everyone to do it, to special effects, to hinge those doors, and then of course construction had to make it, and we had to decorate it.
A lot of pressure for the climax, where Aria and Cynthia come back together and then part again.
Yeah.
What was the complex of that? Because you have to honor the Wizard of Oz, you have her death scene, but also the redemption. A lot going on. What was the conflict making that kind of set?
Well, that's Kiamiko. So Kiamiko, again, you look at Kiamiko and you think, wow, we have to reinvent the castle, the great castle of the Wicked Witch of the West. But in Wicked, its origins come from Fiyero and the ancient family history. So in a way, I took my cues from the fact that it belonged to a forgotten time and it belonged to the time of the Grimoire. So then I could say, okay, can we put magic into this castle? Can we make it float? So Kiamiko sits with that middle buttress and archways that make it feel like it's floating. And really that goes back to a sort of theory we have in the art department. It doesn't necessarily play out in the film, but it gives you something that relates to the Grimoire, and also is as far west in Oz as you can go. If Oz is an island and she's being pushed to the west to the impassable desert, that's on the edge. So when they look out, they are looking at the impassable desert and they're saying goodbye. And it's very moving for me, for good.
Now, what do you think? The shot was brilliant with Ariana and Cynthia looking through the other side of the wall.
Oh, yeah.
The split. Did you realize the emotional impact that would have when you actually saw it, the way their performance matched with what you created and Alice shot?
No, I always remember John, I think I was on a different stage, and the note came through, he's like, oh, can we chop your door in half? I can't hold it. So yeah, it's your set, dude. And it was like, they got that shot, but that is fantastic. It's just, anyway, it's great fun. I literally had some of the best times in my life making that film.